everybody, and welcome to part 16 of my Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remastered playthrough. This is Loghain F for the Revenants Gaming. Alright, so this part is, it's going to be a bit lengthier because, you know, I don't traverse too terribly much in the story, and I just want to... I just want to leave in as much entertainment. So we got the spell Exit just then. It's a level 6 spell, and it is in theory, it's a helpful spell, but really it's just kind of, I never use it because, frankly, I just stock up so much on ethers and potions that it's just not necessary to exit the dungeon for more supplies. Okay, so we're going to Gaia here. Alright, so yeah, in this part we're primarily I'd say the point of this part, we're getting like as many spells as we can that are higher tier. Well, they're not higher, they're the highest tier. So Warp insta kills enemies, and well, to be fair, so does Kill, but neither of these are abilities I actually use. Like, it's more of, I just had them just in case I got bored with regular encounters. Which in hindsight probably could have saved me. Which in hindsight, not even bothering with this spell, it could have saved me a bit of grinding. But, I just want you to know that they're there. And hypothetically, if you're following my route, they theoretically would be pretty useful. So, yeah. Hopefully, at the time of this recording, as I said in the previous part, I have, like, the footage for the whole commentary. It's just, I'm just having to record audio, like, my voice over it. So, yeah. Okay, so here we are in Melmond, and so in the last part, we got the Rosetta stone from the sunken shrine, and this will giving it to Une will allow us to, for the next town we go to, it'll allow us to understand the residents. Yes. And and when we go to the next town, we not only get the final white and black magic spells we're using, we also get an item that is key to allowing us to get to the next dungeon. See, I just riding around. And I do leave in all the random encounters of the next dungeon because, as I said, it's like I wanted to just leave in. I wanted to give y'all enough entertainment, whether it's not, where it's not just walking from place to place, because I found that, it probably was a little sluggish when I only kept in the mandatory encounters rather than the ones you could just run away from. Those are probably more of a necessity, but, the reason I leave in this random encounter is that it showcases a relatively new spell we got, the most powerful of the Dia tree, Diaja. And, this spell is, it's the most effective spell you can use against, it's the most effective spell you can use against undead enemies. Yeah. So the graphics for it are very extravagant. So yeah. Anyway, now we're in Lufenia, or I don't know how it's pronounced, but yeah. We're first things first in this village. We're going to get the final white and black magic spells. Now, these spells we actually will use. Flare is the most it's the only like real non-elemental damage spell, and that is handy for the next two big boss fights, or well, actually, really just the next one. But I'll get to that. But because Flare can't really be resisted because it's not elemental. Yeah, and as you can see, I'm just talking to people in the crowd just to, get some background on the world. So, yeah. But yeah, it's just standard. It's just standard RPG stuff. Like, most of the, like, it gives you background. Oh, yeah, so here we go. We got the chime. Yeah, this will allow us to get to the next dungeon. Okay. And, yeah, this will allow us to get to the next dungeon. But other than that, there. Oh yeah, the other spell we got, by the way, was Full Life. Full Life is a spell that. It allows you to completely revive your teammate. Like full. It doesn't restore their spell charges, but it does restore all their health. And that will actually be very crucial in the final boss fight. I forget if I use it at any other point. Personally, I doubt that I would. Because as long as you maintain a sufficient level, then the likelihood of you dying like to the point where you need to use full life in a battle rather than just taking the loss, it's pretty low. I mean, I could see it in the super boss that's in this game, or if you want to call it that, but oh yeah. And here we are in Mirage Tower. Yeah, there's really not too much to say about this dungeon. But yeah, as I was saying, Full Life is one of those spells that is just not really... It's very situational, and it's just not something that you would actually consciously need to... It's not something you would consciously need to do. Wow, I have no clue what happened there. But yeah, it's not... It's one of those, you better have it, not need it, than need it, and not have it. Although, as I said, yeah, Final Boss... Final Boss is, unless you go with the Super Boss, is definitely the hardest of the bosses. Oh yeah, I should probably clarify this ahead of time. So, the War Mech fight is something that I was not able to capture. I tried really hard in the dungeon after this one to capture footage of the War Mech, but I was in the exact spot, and I just couldn't trigger it. And my mentality was, I put off recording this playthrough for a while because of multiple factors that have been going on in my life, so I don't want to waste any more time. But so yeah, you will not be seeing the super boss in this playthrough. You will probably see. I assure you, when I eventually get to Final Fantasy V, you'll see the super boss for that playthrough, but not for this one. Yeah. Oh yeah, and this is Flare in action, as you can see. Very strong spell. Very strong. But yeah. Yeah, this is... Yeah, I'd say this is one of those areas where you really shouldn't have problems with these random encounters if you actually want to fight them. I mean, unless you were severely under-leveled like I was for the first, I'd say, close to half of the playthrough, where I just felt like, oh, I don't need to grind at all. Then I remembered, oh, it's Final Fantasy. It's one of the OG, big RPGs. So I'm gonna have to grind eventually. Yeah, and so yeah. The encounters that I'm showing obviously aren't very interesting, and they don't show, and you don't really gain, other than experience, you don't gain anything from these encounters. I just thought I'd just, as I said, I just want to keep y'all entertained, and so crap. Carl and I, we decided finally on an upload schedule since I'm gonna have enough parts to get us through the next few weeks. What we're gonna do is we're gonna release 2 parts a week. I think the goal, I talked to Carl about this, and I think the goal, we're gonna release 1 part on Wednesday and another part on Friday. So that's how we're gonna handle the release schedule of all these, and I think it'll work out for us. Yeah. Lord knows, the few people who've been tuning into our channel, y'all deserve some content, yeah. Especially given that it looks like it's certain that I'm gonna be the only one uploading content from now on. But I don't know, that can change. That can always change. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you, it is weird. I've spent we started this playthrough at a much earlier point in the year, and now I'm finally getting around to, I'm getting around to being pretty close to finishing it, almost over 3/4 of the way, So that's weird to think about. As you can see, we're getting Thor's Hammer. Give that to your white mage, even though I generally, that's generally just not even something I even think to use, because the white mage, I just use it for healing and holy, and the Dia spell tree when necessary, but, it's a little bit of a boost, and you can select the item for more damage on something. I never actually do that in this playthrough, but yeah, so we got the Sunblade. Yeah, that is, so I think that does more damage against undead, if I'm right. No, it's so the Sunblade is a more powerful weapon for our knight, so give it to the knight, and we will have our hand. And so Worm Killer is something that is more effective against, it's more effective against dragons, and we're gonna need that in the upcoming fight, even though the upcoming fight it's just a mini boss, and it's really nothing special. It's kind of like it's about as unique as the vampire or the evil eye. Just not a threat at all. So, I mean, I guess if you're cripplingly low levels, but that's just not something that's just not something that you should be. But if you want a self-imposed challenge, go ahead. All right, so. Yeah, this is the part where I say, hey, thank you all for watching. This is Loghain F. You'll see us in the next part, where we go through the Flying Fortress using the Warp Cube. So, yeah. See y'all around. Wow, I need an outro for this channel. Anyway, bye.